Hello, Twitter followers. This is Drew Breyer, and today I'd like to just take a few minutes to walk you through something that has really kept my interest for the past couple of years, and something that I've actually tweeted a lot about. And in any case, it's something that I enjoy informing people about, and that thing is Bitcoin. So in this first video, I'd just like to walk you through just something as simple as installing the wallet application and adding some Bitcoin to it. So Bitcoin, there's lots of ideas running around. I could talk about, how Bitcoin is a currency, how it's mined. We could talk about some of the algorithms at work that make Bitcoin so powerful. We could talk about some of the political implications of Bitcoin, which are numerous. But today I'm going to try and make it as approachable as possible by showing you how easy it is to connect to the Bitcoin network, to establish yourself as a peer in the Bitcoin network, for free of course. And let's see if we can't get a Bitcoin into our wallet and maybe even send it somewhere. That'd be kind of cool. So here I've gone to the bitcoin.org website. Bitcoin is not a company, but they are organized as a group of people. And bitcoin.org is a site run by the Bitcoin Foundation, which is it's a spokesperson for Bitcoin. There's some developers there. They've had some money filter through different sorts of membership processes and different grants they've gotten. But anyways, I think that would get into more of a political conversation that I'd like to for today. But again, what I'd like to do is show you how easy and approachable Bitcoin is, and just show you how to get started with a wallet. So all right, bitcoin.org, we're going to click on Get Started with Bitcoin. And what I want to do is, I'm the one informing you. Let's just go right to the wallet section. And here we can see the many platforms that are supported by the Bitcoin platform, or all the platforms that support the Bitcoin architecture. All of the support that Bitcoin has across many different operating systems, I should say. But what I'm on right now is I'm on Windows, and there's several here that are pretty nice, and one that I'd like to navigate to is Bitcoin Core. This is pretty cut and dry, a fairly simple implementation of the Bitcoin protocol. So here I've got several options. I'm on Windows 64-bit. There's also a zip. I believe this is going to be just an executable file. I don't think it's an installer, but we'll see. So this is going to download. I'm going to hit yes. It is an installer. Another option for this is it could just be a standalone executable file where you just run it and it would be the program already. But it's pretty easy to install as well. So here the program is going to run shortly. So welcome to Bitcoin Core. Here, what we're going to do is we want to use the default directory for, that's fine. Yes, allow access, that's fine. It needs to access the network. And here is a Bitcoin wallet. And so to be a peer in the Bitcoin network, what you need to do is you need to synchronize yourself with the network. And that will make you a node within the Bitcoin network. And so what that means is that you are a reliable source of the ledger, or of all of the transactions that are happening in the Bitcoin network. So this makes sending and receiving money very easy, because what you're trying to do, or not what you're trying to do, what this allows possible is you can check with the network to make sure that what somebody is sending hasn't been sent before. And what it also allows you to do is, by having an audit trail, or having access to all of the transactions that have happened in the entire history of Bitcoin, what you can do or what you have to do rather, when you send a transaction, or when you initiate a transaction with the network, is you reference inputs and outputs in the blockchain. So what I'm doing when I send money to Bob, for example, I want to send money to Bob. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reference a series of inputs saying this is money that has been sent to keys that I maintain control over, and as a result of that, uh, or under that authority, I'm going to now pass control to Bob by giving it outputs and by signing cryptographically that transaction over to Bob. So that's what we see down here, is we see that I'm 6 years and 6 weeks behind the network right now. And what this is doing is it's attempting to load the entire blockchain or the entire series of transactions that has happened since the beginning of Bitcoin about 6 years ago. I forget exactly the size that it's at now. I think it's like 10 gigabytes or something, maybe 8. It's a sort of large file, but it's not unmanageable given the cheapness of storage devices today. But that would take a while to load. We won't wait for it right now. But what we would do if we were to send money, send funds in here again to show that we control things. I mean, that's kind of under the hood. What we do to send money is we essentially know somebody's Bitcoin address. So this is almost like an email address. And so I would enter in the person's Bitcoin address, which could look something like this. They give you an example here. You can give it a label, and then tell it the amount. So how many Bitcoins that I have control over. Notice how I'm not saying own. You don't really own anything with Bitcoin. That's kind of a term, kind of a human term that doesn't really pass into computer language. You can't really own any Bitcoin. What you do is you control them. You control a certain amount of Bitcoin within the network. So anyways, under that control, you're able to then sign or pass on control to other people, which makes sending money super easy. I mean, right now, how this works through PayPal is you send the money to PayPal, who then will send the money to the person's bank and at an astronomical fee. What this allows possible, notice how I didn't have to give my credit card to anybody. I didn't have to pay for anything. This is completely free, and it is completely maintained by the public. It's open source. I mean, if you want to see the underpinnings of this, see how transactions work, that's possible. So I digress. It's very easy to send money with this. And also I can receive money. So what I'm going to do here is I can request payment. So I can say, all right, request payment. Here's a Bitcoin address associated with this wallet. And what I do is I give the person this address, or I can also send them this QR code if it's convenient. Sometimes with phones, it's convenient to pull up a QR code and then they can scan it. And then instantly, then they're prompted to send a certain amount. At some sort of retailer, for example, you could type in a certain number of Bitcoin that I'm requesting. So I could say, all right, I'm requesting 0.55 Bitcoin from groceries. And then a message, thanks, dude. And I can request payment here. And so this is going to create something that's actionable. So I can actually click on this, the Bitcoin colon is protocol language. This would pop it up. If you sent somebody this over Skype, they could click on this and it would pull up a prompt for a transaction within their wallet. Otherwise, you can send them this QR code and that contains that same information. Otherwise, you can just copy paste this. This says, here's my address, here's my amount, label, and the message, and just kind of send it in plain text as well. I'm not going to wait for this to sync because that's going to take a bit, actually a lot longer than I wanted this video to entail. But any transactions then would happen here. So in another video, I'm actually going to show how I'm able to easily purchase Bitcoin on not an exchange, but on Coinbase. And from the web wallet, then I'm going to show how I can easily send money to a hard wallet or to a wallet that would be existing on Windows or on a phone, and show how easy managing that is. But for today, I think I've talked for about 10 minutes now. Let's see here. I've talked for about 10 minutes. So I'm going to leave it at that. And if you have any questions, feel free to get at me on Twitter. Thanks so much for listening. Bye, guys.